Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I thought we could repot my giant Ctenanthe. She's overdue for a repot. To be honest with you, I've been wanting to film this video along with many others for a few days now, and I just didn't have the motivation. So I just didn't have the motivation. I think I have been going through a little bit of a depressive episode. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I mentioned that I have depression and ADHD, and I think my depression hit a peak this past week, or I mean this week because today is Sunday. So I thought we could repot my plant together and I would talk a little bit about some personal stuff and some depression related things because I truly think that this could help on someone. So let's do some plant therapy together. This is my ginormous Ctenanthe, also known as Never Never plant. I got this plant a few months ago. I think I found it in Home Depot. The first thing that really caught my attention was the jungly vibes overall. I also love the elongated oval shape of the leaves and then this grayish light green base and then the dark green veination. And the underside of the leaves are yellow. So this plant is looking extremely great. But unfortunately, I think a week ago, I noticed that it was droopy, it was getting crispy edges on the leaf. So I checked on the roots and it turned out it's root bound. But then, as I said, I just didn't feel like doing anything basically. So I was rotting on the couch in the past few days. The only thing I did was took Molly for a walk, which is really, really great because she basically forces me to get out, spend some time outside. So if you have depression, well, depending obviously on the level of it, of course, I definitely recommend getting a dog or some kind of animal because they can truly heal something in you. Let me just talk about a little bit about this plant. So I'm not sure about the exact relationship between Ctenanthes and Calatheas, but I think they are cousins, so they are related somehow. So this is a Ctenanthe Never Never plant. Humidity-wise, it handles quite well my ambient humidity, which is around 30 to 40%. I think it would appreciate distilled water. To be honest with you, I just don't feel like I have the capacity to run to the store in every 2 days for distilled water. But so just to show you, this is how the leaf can look. If it dries out too much, if it doesn't like your tap water, obviously depending on your location, and also if you put it in direct sun. So humidity wise, I don't supply it with extra humidity at all. What you could do if you don't have humidifier, just get a saucer, fill it with leca and then pour some water over it just to have some, micro humidity around the plant. And I water this plant in every 2 weeks, I believe, in summer. And I fertilize it with every watering. I think I let it dry out just a little bit. This plant is quite good signaling you if it dries out too much because the leaves gonna curl up a little bit, but it bounces back very quickly because as soon as I notice it and I water it, within half an hour, it bounces back and it looks better than before. Temperature wise, it doesn't really like high temperature. So since I have west facing windows, my living room tend to get too warm. I'm talking 28 to 31 degrees, which is extreme. She doesn't like that. But that's rare. I can usually keep my living room at around 25 degrees. Light-wise, I wouldn't recommend putting this one in a bright light. And I would say not even bright indirect light. My perspective, my experience, this one prefers between medium to low light. Everyone's environment is different, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. The thing is, what coolest about this plant is that it's moving around. So as I said, it's related somehow to calatheas, and if you have calathea, you know that calatheas are basically moving throughout the day. The leaves are following the light. And so since it's a bigger plant, the movement of this plant is quite significant and more noticeable than with calatheas. So it was really funny when I brought this home and I witnessed the first movement of the plant. It was quite spooky. Even Molly started to barking at it. I saw the leaf moving like this or even like this. There is like a specific sound when it's moving. So the reason it's moving is because this plant has its own internal clock. So there is a little joint here. I'll try to show you here, which is responsible for moving. It's basically acts like a hinge, moves the leaf all around. During the day, the leaves spread out to be able to absorb more light. And as it's getting darker outside, the leaves will fold up together. And so I usually witness the folding up phase. And that's why I decided not to put this plant in my bedroom, because although it's beautiful and I love it and it's very bushy and jungly, it's kind of creepy as well. So let me change the angle and we start to repot this guy. It's currently in a 10-inch pot, and I got this plastic pot from Canadian Tire. And I don't know the size in inch, but it's like 9.8 liters. But the point is, it's gonna be perfect. And I think I'm gonna also prune the leaves a little bit. As I said, there are some crisping due to, I think, being root rot. So I'll show you the roots first. See? What I'm gonna use this time is just orchid mix from Canadian Tire mixed with some leca that I had home. Okay, so I want you to be able to see me while I'm repotting this plant. So let me just check. Yeah, I have to feel the bottom of the pot a little bit with the soil. So what I wanted to talk about was basically, I remember when I was first diagnosed with depression, obviously I didn't know many things about it. And I thought I would touch on some things that it's really useful to know if you have depression. Basically, I am just making this video because it's good for me. And I know that many people feel very isolated and stigmatized because of depression, and I just want to help you guys, and I want you to feel less alone. Number one thing I would recommend if you have depression is just don't force and push yourself to do things. As I said, from the very beginning of this week, I felt very crappy. I didn't have the motivation to do anything, not even with my plans. And there is a vicious circle here, which starts with not being able to doing things and then feeling guilty and punishing yourself. And I think what I figured, it's better to give yourself time. So don't force yourself to do anything. If you have the chance to rest, if you feel like this, just take a rest. And so what I am doing is I take a rest. I was basically rotting on the couch all week. I have high functioning depression, which means I can take care of myself, my dog. I can go to work. Obviously, there are different type of depression, so I can only talk about my experience. So if you have high functioning depression, then you may find my tips helpful. Okay, this next one might be controversial because, as I said, it's depending on the level of depression you have. I got my dog way before I developed depression. But let me tell you, even if you just go to a farm maybe, but making connection with animals truly helps. So if you have the chance, you might want to do that, really. Obviously, I'm giving advices that I can't always keep. So I did feel guilty not filming videos and uploading videos more, because now I feel like I actually started to build something for my own, which is this channel. And I felt like I owe the people that watch my videos and subscribe to my channel, I owe them to be here and actually provide some content. And as I said, if you can, you should find the middle ground between letting your body rest when it needs, but at the same time being able to be there for those who are important for you. And yeah, the time is not right now, but I want and will talk about my triggers, like the things that happened to me that triggered my depression to show up. And the other advice that I wanted to give to you is healing from depression is not straightforward. It's not like you start to feel better and then there is no way back. Unfortunately for me, even if I feel good for 2 weeks, there's a chance that something will happen, or even without any significant thing to happen, I can feel more crappy or feel like I'm at square one. So if you have depression, just expect that. If you're new to depression, just expect that to happen. And don't demonize medication. I was very hesitant at the beginning of my depression journey to take medication because where I'm coming from, my home country and my culture, how to put this? Talking about mental health is still not too common, and accepting and acknowledging even the existence of mental health and mental health issues, let alone taking medication for it, is just not an accepted thing 100%. It's getting better and better. But I feel like here in Canada, I have more freedom to own it, because it's not something that you should be ashamed of, not at all, because it's natural in some way. Medication definitely helps me. It's not the only thing that can treat depression, but it's a very, very useful tool just to be able to function on a daily basis. If you don't feel like talking about this problem with certain people because you know that they would be really, really judgmental, then don't do it. You don't owe anything to anyone, truly. Okay, so I'm done with the repotting. Now I just want to check the leaves and maybe cut off what I don't need. And if you have the chance, go to therapy. If you find a right therapist for you, it can be really, really helpful. And also, I haven't tried group therapy, but I really, really want to, because connecting with people who are in a similar position in life as you, or deal with similar problems, or just going through the same things, can be very, very healing. And I'm talking from experience. Not being able to complete easy everyday tasks can seem ridiculous, but just don't beat yourself up. Actually, it's a very realistic thing with depression that you just can't really complete things. They feel extremely difficult for you. So, for example, for me, filming this video 2 days ago felt impossible. But I mean, if I let myself rest, and then even after a few hours of resting, I feel like I am more capable. So I would go check on my plants, water them, and even if that was the only thing I did that day that was useful, then that's a success itself. But giving yourself time, it's is useful itself. Oop. See, look at that lush jungly vibes. I love this plant so much. It's so cool. Oh, okay. I might have to cut off some stems here because it's getting out of control. So, point is, I think I'm gonna do a series where I would do plant chores and talk about these things. I don't know. I think some people would watch it. Even if they would not, it's still good for me. Okay, see, there are some crisping here and there, but I think the overall look of this plant is quite good. I'll show you. It's a bit. So, see these two stems? And there is actually a new shoot there. I don't know if I should cut it. I don't think that they can bounce back. Yeah, looks like a permanent damage there. So the next advice is quite, well, I don't want to be hypocrite and I don't want to give out very like cliche advices, but going to the gym helps. I went back to gym at the beginning of this year, and then around April, May, when I was starting getting deeply into houseplants, I quit it. So yeah, I'm giving this advice while my lazy ass just can't get out and go to the gym. Um, but maybe you have more willpower than I do, and maybe you have been waiting for a sign to go back to the gym, and this is your sign. Go back to the gym. I'm gonna give her some water, no fertilizer in this water because I think it's been stressed out in the past few days. So just simple water. Yeah, just ignore the mess. I want to show you how she looks. I might get rid of that one. It's a beautiful plant. Huge leaves. So I'm quite happy and relieved that I was able to repot this guy and also film this video for you. And I hope you find it useful, even if there is one little thing you can take with yourself. I'm happy. And feel free to leave me a comment, whether it be about Ctenanthe or mental health or anything like that. I'm happy to answer your question or just interact with you guys. And I hope I see you in the next video. Bye.